back. I'm Rick Sanchez. We told you here last night that U.S. diplomats have assurances, they say, that Australia will side with the United States in any looming war with China over Taiwan. The problem, as we acknowledged when we brought you that report yesterday, was that those are the words of a U.S. diplomat who is based in Australia, who seemed to be speaking for the Aussies, right? Well, now there is a published report that quotes the Aussie defense minister directly. And we think that's important, especially given the severity of this constant back and forth between China and the United States from a military standpoint when it comes to Taiwan. So joining us now, NRS correspondent Farron Franczak. She's been following this story. So what is the Aussie defense minister saying?
So let's just hop right into it. We've got Peter Dutton, the defense minister. He says that this is true, what the U.S. diplomat said was true, and that they will be working with the U.S., specifically saying this, quote, Australian military, we will work closely with the United States on this important initiative to ensure that we understand how our enterprise can best support both Australia's needs and the growing needs of our most important military partner. Now, Australia says that they're going to spend $100 billion over the next 10 years to boost its military. They're looking at contracts with the U.S. companies of Lockheed Martin and Raytheon. This is a big move, especially since Australia, Rick, is reliant on China. China has made Australia rich with its exports, but also Australia is heavily reliant on China's exports. If you don't believe me, let's throw up the chart here, Director Kevin. $240 billion of China is being spent with Australia. It accounts for 33% of its exports, Rick. And if, for those that are like, well, why China? Well,
so that's more than a third of the exports from Australia go to China.
Right. And, it makes sense. Take a look at this map here. You can see that these countries are very, very close. They're all in the Asian Pacific. And you had this map on the show yesterday when we talked about this.
So this is a catch-22, the way you're describing it, right? I think, our good friend George Galloway mentioned this yesterday. Yes, Australia is beholden to the United States. They were there during the Vietnam War, the Korean War, the World War II, and everything. They've never let the U.S. down. But in this case, since those wars, the relationship, if you will, between China economically with Australia has grown by leaps and bounds. So they have to decide our economy, which is based on China, or our goodwill and standing and friendship with our old buddies, the Yankees.
Right, and it's literally between a rock and a hard place. However, the rock can move. The United States is not close to Australia the way that China is so close. I mean, you see in that map there, straight up and down from each other. Now, we do have the Prime Minister of Australia coming out. He's saying this. Let's throw his quote up there on the screen. Creating our own sovereign capability on Australian soil is essential to keep Australians safe. As the COVID-19 pandemic has shown, having the ability for self-reliance, be it a vaccine or the defense of Australia, it's vital to meeting our own requirements in a changing global environment. You remember Australia, they banned Huawei from its 5G network, which already infuriated the Chinese with that.
But they are reliant on China.
Right. But now they're talking about possibly looking at India. But again, you see there from that chart, India is not even comparable to China.
You can look at all you want, but I mean, in the end, it would be like the United States saying, we're going to shut down all the Walmarts because 90% of what you buy in Walmart comes from China.
Right.
You're going to shut down every Walmart in the United States where our economy is almost based on that? It'd be a kind of tough thing to do.
And also, you think about, for example, if it was like a Walmart, you're going to wipe out, a complete class of people that go there every single day.
This is what a lot of the Western countries are up against. I mean, they're trying to eliminate China, punish China, do whatever they can with China. But China is inextricably adapted to our economies.
Right.
Whether it's Australia, the United States, or Great Britain. You can't remove something that's like you become part of your skin.
Right.
So how do you do that?
And one of the things is with this Prime Minister saying this, that that they need to be much more reliant. Many would argue that this is just simple posturing to make the United States happy, with like you said. But knowing the underlying root problem is there ain't no way you're going to be able to make it without China.
They can't separate themselves from China, but they somehow have to be able to appease the United States and make them feel like if you go in there, we're going with you. But when the rubber hits the road and they really have to decide, then what are they going to do? And that's the question, which we don't know yet, but it's a fascinating development. Thanks for bringing us that, Farron. That's good stuff.